96.7 KCAL rocks. Rocking your Monday like we always do, but we also get to talk sports with our guy, Pep. Let's check in with him. What's up, Pep?
Hey guys, listen, we've got a lot to get to. Before we do, we got to give a quick shout out to the alma mater of 40 over here, Centennial High School. Now, we talk high school sports a little bit on KCAL once in a while. Well, the Centennial High School basketball team was playing in the Open Division Championship. That is the best of the best in the Southern section. They went on the road to Sierra Canyon, and Sierra Canyon is a school that has notoriously had celebrities, famous people, athletes have their kids go to that school. Well, on this team, LeBron James' son plays on that team. I think Scottie Pippen has a son on this team. With all that said, Centennial High School beat Sierra Canyon for the Open Division Championship with LeBron, with the rapper Drake, and many others sitting on the sidelines watching it all unfold. So congratulations to Centennial getting it done, even with all the big-time celebrities in the house watching it courtside.
40.
I mean, you guys got LeBron, you got Drake, you got Pippen. You don't got Centennial, though. Centennial, the evil empire, once again showing its dominance. Very proud of the Huskies. Way to go, boys.
Yes, Pep. Can you believe the alma mater of 40 ruined Bronny's playoff debut?
I know, right? And I was thinking, oh, that's right. LeBron's not in the playoffs. Of course he could be at his son's game sitting courtside with Drake.
Don't bring your transports here to SoCal. The Inland Empire kids, they are tough.
That's right. You're exactly right, 40. And again, it was like trending on Twitter. I'm like, man, I can't believe this game is trending on Twitter because obviously Drake and LeBron were there. So that's why, it's getting national news. But yeah, Centennial going on the road to beat Sierra Canyon for the Open Division Championship. Now, guys, that'll be our segue into the NBA playoffs right now. In the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns swept the Denver Nuggets. So whoever meets Phoenix in the finals, in the Western Conference finals, they're going to have a battle on their hands, man. Phoenix looks really good right now. The Clippers, though, showing signs of life. They got one against the top-seeded Utah Jazz, as the Clippers looks like they're going to try and make this a series after all.
Right, we'll see what happens with the Clippers because it does look like hopefully the Clippers and the Suns could come together. Caveat, did you notice the one thing finally Chris Paul is, I know he banged up his shoulder, but he's like somewhat healthy. Finally this year he's making it deep into the playoffs. But if you even noticed in the game when they're totally going to make it, they're going to advance. On one of the last plays, he has like a huge collision with a guy and almost hurts himself. Again, I'm like, this guy is trying to hurt himself. I mean, look at this. It's like, dude, Chris, you're finally going to make it. This is his only freaking chance if he stays healthy. He's got to take advantage.
Totally. And he's one of those ultimate competitors. Like his switch is always flipped on, right? You know what I mean? Like he can't just turn it off. Like, hey guys, we're going to win this game. We're going to sweep the series. I'm just going to kind of, coast through the final, minutes of this game. No, he's going hard every single play. That's who Chris Paul is. And I would love to see Chris Paul go up against his former team, the Clippers, in the Western Conference Finals if the Clippers can take care of their own business and get past Utah and reach the Western Conference Finals.
40, he was making me kind of laugh when he was saying, hey, I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not that big. I played JV for 2 years. Life always hasn't been sweet for me. He was kind of making me laugh. He was like, that's a good point. I can see he's like, I have to play that way. Like,
Chris Paul has had a very hard life. We all feel for Chris Paul and his troubles.
And he's on, correct me guys if I'm wrong, is it State Farm or Farmers Insurance? Yeah, he's all over the place on TV right now. It's kind of like a resurgence of Chris Paul.
Well, now, yeah, he's a millionaire.
He has the most lucrative off-the-court deals going with the company. Nobody feels bad for Chris Paul.
No. He's had to work hard to get there, guys.
No. And I think a lot of NBA teams wrote him off. Like, he's a little long in the tooth, a little injury prone, like nobody wants Chris Paul, but hey, man, he wins he made Oklahoma City decent, and now he's in Phoenix, and he's got him into a championship contender.
He's making Phoenix decent. They're not in anything yet. Let's pump the brakes on Chris Paul. I'm not a Chris Paul guy.
No, he doesn't like all the love that Chris Paul's getting. Chris Paul was wrecking shop.
Chris Paul makes teams good. He does not make teams great.
Oh, 40. We're going to find out. Grab this tape, as they would say, and we'll play this back in a couple of weeks. But I'm not
Booker some aspirin for his back too.
Yeah. I'm not a big Chris Paul guy too, but I love drama. So I'd love to see the drama of Chris Paul going up against the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Just to kind of see that
last night. You dropped 40. That's not nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't shoot threes.
I mean,
he killed him himself.
He's done great.
Had his sidekick Booker with him.
I don't think that's a sidekick. I think old Chris Paul is Mr. Sidekick now.
They both had 40.
Yeah, that's another interesting conversation because Chris Paul, who is the veteran, is it his team or is it Devin Booker, who's the young rising NBA star? Is it his team? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, we know. The guy who's been on 5 teams or the guy who is making a name for himself very quickly in the league. This is Devin Booker's year. This is Devin Booker's team.
He is really good. He can score in bunches, Devin Booker. So hopefully we'll see what the Clippers can do. I think Game 4 is tonight against Utah. So if they get another win, make this interesting, hopefully advance to the Western Conference Finals against the Phoenix Suns. Now, guys, I did want to talk a little baseball too because, think about when the Angels when they released Albert Pujols, the future Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats. He goes to the Dodgers. The Angels actually got red hot. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. They're going into a big series against the first place A's. Like all of a sudden the Angels are a playoff contender. And on the flip side, with Albert Pujols on the Dodgers, guys, get this. I was looking at his stats. He's got 5 home runs, 13 RBIs through about 20 games. If you did that over an entire season, it's like a 40 home run over a 100 RBI season for the Dodgers. I think that was like the best thing for the Angels and the Dodgers with Pujols leaving the Angels and going cross town to the Dodger Blue.
Well, no doubt it worked out for Pujols, but it worked out for the Angels too. I mean, baseball is so weird like that. Who would have thought they'd lose Pujols, lose Trout to injury, and get better?
Yeah, dude, exactly. That's why, on paper, you're like, cutting Albert Pujols, going to the Dodgers in the twilight of his career. Like, it didn't make sense for a lot of different reasons. And then all of a sudden now it makes sense. The Angels got better, and the Dodgers are actually getting really good production out of Albert Pujols coming off the bench, getting a spot start here and there. Like, somehow it all worked out. The stars and moons aligned, and it's working out for both teams right now.
Yeah. Better syringes on that part of town, you think?
How dare you, 40? No.
How dare you?
And guys, hey, don't forget also, tomorrow night, Dodger Stadium, full capacity with the reopening of the state at Dodger Stadium. And then on Thursday, when the Angels are back home, the Big A will also be full capacity. So baseball getting back to normal this week.
The Angels one will be a little more nicer. The Dodgers one, let's have some PD ready to go.
Here we go.
I think Dodger Stadium will be full. Hopefully Angel Stadium will be full as well. Sometimes they have a hard time drawing fans, but hopefully that'll be full on Thursday as well.
Security to the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly, right? More people, increase security. And finally, guys, college football is really trying to push this extended playoffs for college football to go to 12 teams. And the reason I bring it up is if you go to 12 teams, it kind of gives the Pac-12 conference, specifically our Southern California teams, right? USC, UCLA. It actually gives them a realistic chance of getting into the playoffs because the Pac-12 has basically been shut out. I think other than 1, maybe 2 seasons, they have been shut out of the college football playoff.
Well, I think for a couple of reasons. One, they always haven't been able to compete with those other big teams, have kind of gotten their face kicked in. But I do believe there also is an East Coast bias, and I don't mean it like they're being malicious. I think, games are played late, and on the East Coast, they're in bed. That's all there is to it. So it's harder to watch these kids. I'm glad they're doing this because it will give some of these kids and teams a chance to get in and see if they can wreck some shop in the playoff.
I mean, we have 75 different bowl games. Why not just make them into a playoff? We already have the NCAA tournament for March Madness of college basketball. It's one of the best times of the whole year. If you had that same vibe going into a football playoff,
right,
I think you'd get a lot of hype going.
With 12 teams,
Yeah, 12 teams. And I think what they're going to do is they're still going to put emphasis on regular season conference championships so that those top-seeded teams will still get a bye. So it's not like you're watering down the regular season. So if you win a conference championship, it's still going to mean something, especially if you do it like in the SEC or the Big Ten. It's still going to mean something. But now you're going to have to go through several teams to get to that college football national championship. I think it's awesome. I'm totally excited about it. I'd say lop off some of those games in the beginning of the season when those powerhouse programs are playing these schools that have no business being on the same field as them. It's just going to be a blowout anyways.
Do you guys think that this is kind of a way for them to get some of those players who are sitting out to go to the NFL draft to kind of keep playing in these important games, kind of adding more important games? Because when they have just, the one bowl game, some of these really top players don't play in that game because they're like, hey, man, I'm going to the NFL. With a bunch more games, they might have to stay in and play, which is kind of sucks for them, but good for us.
Right.
Yeah, because, if you play in a bowl game that's not part of the college football playoff, it's fun, it's great, it's, whatever, but it's not really, there's no consequence to it. You know what I mean? Like, you're not advancing, you're not trying to win a national title if you just play in some random bowl game. But if that bowl game is one of those 12, featuring one of those 12 teams as a playoff game, all of a sudden that's a big, meaningful game, and that bowl game is very, very important. So you're right, Patrick. If they make those bowl games significant, and guys are going to be like, hey, it's not just a bowl game. This is a playoff game to advance, to still get to the national championship. That could change some decisions in terms of these kids opting out.
See?
I mean, I like that they're willing to mess with their rules and change up their stuff a little bit, because a lot of people say they do it a little too much, but then you get like the leagues like the NFL maybe who don't change their rules enough. So it's like, it's kind of that. I like that NCAA is willing to try some things, I guess.
And I think eventually it will expand. So more football is better, right, Pep?
Hey, man, I always want more football on my plate.
Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
Inland Sports. Check us out, Inland Sports, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Inland Sports, the YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. We appreciate it.